Hey guys, wow. Some really exciting environmental news coming out last night. Exciting if you hate the future and hate the world. Unfortunately, a government agency last night released 8 talking points on more or less how to gloss over anthropogenic climate change. This is coming straight out of the Environmental Protection Agency. The agency charged with protecting the environment. One job. That's what they're supposed to be doing. It's in the name. There's no iffy gray area about what the Environmental Protection Agency is charged with doing. Yet Scott Pruitt is contributing to the gray area that surrounds climate change, human-caused climate change. Today we'll take a look at a few of Scott's bullet points and probably have a little bit of a laugh, followed by some tears. Today on How to Be an Activist. So a couple things you may or may not know about Scott Pruitt. He's been on a long run of trying to screw over the climate science that is so overwhelming and scientific and peer-reviewed. But Scott just says, what? I don't care. So, he has scrubbed climate change from the website, from the EPA website. He recently scrubbed some Obama-era rules about how much emissions power plants can release, pretty much allowing them to just go crazy. So, and again, recently he's released 8 talking points through his Office of Public Affairs on how to talk about climate adaptation, actually, as he refers to it, because climate change is out. So let's take a look at some of them. And like I said, let's get a good laugh out of some of these before we go cry in a dark corner somewhere. One of the first ones. This is great. I quote, "While there has been extensive research and a host of published reports on climate change, clear gaps remain, including our understanding of the role of human activity and what we can do about it." Now, end quote. That is so the antithesis of what all the science is saying, okay? 97% of peer-reviewed, overwhelming scientific evidence. And quite frankly, science has been saying this is going to happen for a long time. Since at least the 70s, there's just been so much science on this. I can't believe we're still talking about this. But what about the people that are now experiencing this? The people on the East Coast that have been getting tremendous storms. The people in the Southeast that have been seeing rain like they have never seen before. People that have been there for 80 years talking about the extreme weather events that, guess what? Scientists said was going to happen. We are living in the last 4 warmest years on record. We are living in the hottest time in recorded history. He goes on to say, clear gaps remain, including our understanding of the role of human activity and what we can do about it. I cannot think of a more false statement in the entire time that I've been alive. Clear gaps refer to what? The 3% of scientists that don't agree with this? Is that a clear gap? Maybe if it was 50% of scientists thought this and the other 50 had overwhelming evidence that there was not anthropogenic climate change taking place, then I think using the term clear gaps would be, closer to respectable. But when 97% of scientists, and again, that has been proven, please don't get in the comments and say, that's been proven, bro, okay? Where are the clear gaps? They're not clear. There's no gaps. And he goes on to even say, including our understanding of the role of human activity and what we can do about it. Those 97% of scientists are very clear on the fact of human-caused climate change and that the role of humans is so clear that it's just ridiculous that Scott Pruitt would even officially say anything like this. Now, we could talk about this one all day, but let's move on because I think the idiocracy is just so blatant that we can just move on. Next point, and I quote, "As a key regulatory voice, it is important for the agency to strive for a better understanding of these gaps, given their potential significant influence on our country's domestic economic viability." Okay, oh my gosh. So what he's saying here, as I understand it, understanding of the gaps that we just proved don't exist, he needs to get an even further, better understanding of. Not so that no one's life is affected, not so that no one is put in danger of extreme weather or rising temperatures or rising sea levels or extreme drought, aggravated extreme weather conditions. No. That's not why he's saying we need to further understand these gaps. He's saying because it may mess with the economy. It may mess with our dough, bro. I ain't worried about the economy. If there's a list of 50 things that climate change is gonna fuck over, the economy is on there. But my life is first before the economy. Your life is first before we need to worry about the economy. I'm worried about your life. I'm worried about extreme weather coming up and contributing to massive climate migrations, contributing to aggravated drought, contributing to extreme weather events that makes the roads more dangerous, travel more dangerous. And yes, I am concerned about the economy. But if you, and I'll share these points at the end of the article, at the end of the video here, but if you look at the rest of these points, not once does he mention our livelihood, our lives. He ain't concerned about those. We just want to make sure climate change, if it's real, he's saying, once we understand these gaps, just want to make sure it's not going to affect the economy, okay? He's the environmental, I get it. He's the Environmental Protection Agency. He thought the E meant the Economic Protection Agency. I get it now. I get it. Scott, I got to tell you, you don't got to worry about the economy. You're the Environmental Protection Agency, not the Economic Protection Agency. Thanks, bro. Maybe slight confusion on your part. Totally understand. I'm sure it happens to every government official that runs an agency. Let's take another look at another point here. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. And this is where you can further understand where people like me are coming from. Because this is where Scott Pruitt, head of the Environmental Protection Agency, just blows my mind with his stupidity. And I quote, this is from his talking points. Human activity impacts our changing climate in some manner. The ability to measure with precision the degree and extent of that impact and what to do about it are subject to continuing debate and dialogue. End quote. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be further from the truth to say that we don't understand the role of human activity and that we are not able to measure to a certain degree the effects that we are having on the climate. That is the most bald-faced lie I've ever heard in my entire life. And the fact that the head of a scientific agency would say such blasphemy, we need to remove this guy from office. There is just no other way to approach such blasphemy. Environmental blasphemy. Can that be a thing? Scott Pruitt, you are absolutely, absolutely ridiculous in your statements. And there's other people backing these up. He has a whole office that, I mean, am I the only one that has a problem with this? I want to bring to the attention too, this is not even running on front page news. I give so much credit to the HuffPost, to Mashable, to Mother Jones, and to any publication that was brave enough to run such a story. This should be front page news that the head of a governmental agency is just bald-faced lying through his Office of Public Affairs. That is just the most ridiculous thing, and it gives me fear. It gives me fear because this is who we've charged with saving the environment, and they can't even admit that there's anything wrong with it. The last thing I want to bring attention to is kind of the closing statements in this email that was sent out to the Office of Public Affairs. I think, to me, it's the most damning thing that Scott Pruitt's doing. And I'll read it real quick and let's discuss this. Administrator Pruitt encourages an open, transparent debate on climate science. Wow, what a nice thing, right? Kind of seems like it's a progressive thing. He's saying, I welcome an open, transparent debate. Absolutely. Some people might think, wow, that's really great of Scott. He's willing to talk about this, but no, that's the most spin doctory thing I've ever heard. Do you know what debate does? The power of debate is an old school trick, okay? The power of debate, it's going to send everyone up in this firestorm of debate. And so while we're all fighting over it, they're going to be doing whatever the fuck they want. This will increase the amount of time that nobody gets on this, okay? Bro, there's no debate to be had. The debate is over, and that's my hashtag, and I will push that to the end. There is no debate. There's only moving forward, and we need to move forward right now. Every scientist will tell you, there are scientists out there saying we need a World War II mobilization effort, and it needs to start yesterday. So what the fuck do you think debate is going to do? Debate is going to draw this out. It's going to draw out inaction for months and years, and nothing will happen. The debate is over, Scott Pruitt. You got to be out of the EPA. We need to move forward with climate saving tactics. We need money. We just spent 1.2 trillion on our fucking military that is the most polluting corporation in the world. And they're only going to be fighting their own natural created disaster if they continue with this. Don't ever tell me the money's not there. You don't know fucking shit. If you're going to tell me that the money is not there to save the climate, that we shouldn't waste our resources and money on untried, unproven climate saving tactics, you don't know shit, my friend, if you think that's an argument. There are so many states that just spent billions on a bridge, on a train, on a museum, on a building. That money should have gone to the fucking environment. The money is there. We need the people's hopes and dreams to be there. We need to mobilize, and we need to all get on the same page, or we're no better than fucking lemmings. We're running off a cliff. Every sign is saying, do not go this way. And we're like, fuck you, sign. And we're running off a goddamn cliff. We are the most stupid fucking civilization ever. And we are running to our own deaths. Anyone could do better. Scott Pruitt's not the right guy. His heart's not in the right place, and his mind is not in the right place. Because he knows the science is out there. He knows what's at risk if he's wrong. And yet he blindly moves forward, and I guarantee you it's going to screw all of us. We've got to stand up for these things. That's what How to Be an Activist is all about. There's no reason we can't live in the world that we want to live in. Please leave a comment below about what you think about Scott Pruitt's 8 bullet points. Feel free to write him a letter. I may start a petition on getting Scott Pruitt out of office. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, guys. Keep up the good fight. Talk to you guys next time.